play a game with me. Imagine you own a grocery store, and a candy manufacturer sets up this beautiful rack with their products, but they also install a hidden camera to spy on your customers. Someone eventually figures it out, but who do they blame? It's you, of course. Now, imagine that your website is this grocery store. Do you know what sits between you or your product and your customers, your users? Sometimes you know because they are the third-party scripts that you let in. Sometimes it's the user media, and sometimes it's also browser extension that the user had installed. They can exploit your users' hardware, media, and performance. So by hardware, I mean they can use the camera, they can use the microphone, they can use the speakers, various sensors, Bluetooth. Now, you don't want anyone to scan your user's Bluetooth environment. They can use USB. Of course, the browser is going to ask for permission, but they're going to think it comes from you, not from the third-party script, right? They can also exploit your media, as I said, by means of users uploading unoptimized images and you letting your app serve those unoptimized images. Also performance, because sometimes third-party scripts, browser extensions as well, use synchronous, those old synchronous APIs for communication with a server or for things like document.write. This is all bad, and you don't really want that. Luckily, there is a way to protect you as a service provider so that you can let the browser know which features you're going to allow to your customers and third-party scripts as well. That's called feature policy. It's so easy to install that once I go over it today, you're going to want to go back to your product and set it up right away. Okay, here we go. Let's dive right in. So the way you use feature policy is very similar to content security policy, or CSP. We just add an HTTP header to our document. That's it. All right, so let's take a look. This is how I defined headers in serve.json. Setting feature policies is easy as creating an HTTP header. Obviously, we want to use that in a response HTML document. So in this example right now, I'm specifying one. I'm using serve.json, but you can do this in any server configuration, whether it's Apache or Netlify or AWS, whatever you want. Okay, so this is just one example. So I'm creating a header called feature policy, and what I'm going to try to do now, I'm going to try to disallow document.write. All right, so document.write, this is the name of the policy. And I'll say, well, first I'm going to say that everybody can use it. I'm saving this and I'm starting the server. I'm going to need to restart the server every time I change anything to this site. All right, so it's running, I'm reloading. There's nothing on the site, obviously. Document write. I'm going to write something awesome. Hello, YouTube. Yes. Chrome said, oh, you are using document.write. You're a bad person, but it still allows me to actually use it. Awesome. Now, you know what? I'm going to disallow myself from, I'm saying, Gregor, you are no longer able to use document.write. You're a bad person. You're a bad programmer, developer, scripter, coder. From now on, your document non-privileges are none. Let's take a look. Obviously, I need to restart the server, reload the page. All right, I'm going to clear this again. I'm doing the same thing. Document write, hello, YouTube. It's not working. I don't know if I should be happy or sad. I'm happy because it's not working. I wanted this feature not to work, and I made it possible by setting the header document write none. Okay. So what you saw is that I could say document write asterisk, meaning, oh, not this guy, meaning everything is possible, any, okay? I could have said none, so that means no one can use it. Or I could have said self, well, that means only my own domain, only my document, anything that belongs to my host name, my domain, and, I should say context. And I could say one more thing. I could say HTTPS, that's wrong, PS google.com, right? And self, right? Space, separated list of contexts, which would be a number of domains, including self. All right, so this is how we set one feature policy. I'm going to delete this because this doesn't make sense. I'm going to leave none. Now I want to add one more feature policy. Why? Because this next one is going to be cool. And I want to show you how to add more than one feature policy, because obviously there is a catch. Not check, catch. All right, so document write none, and then I want to add one more. I need to separate them with a semicolon. Hello, JavaScript. Semicolon. I'm going to say camera. All right. And you know what? I'm going to allow everything. As a good JavaScript developer, I'm going to end it with semicolon too. Doesn't really matter. All right. So when I restart this browser and I go to network, what I see is that feature policy is here. And it says document write none, camera, everything. Okay, but I don't have any camera capabilities, so I'm going to add some. Okay, now I added a little bit of HTML, a little bit of JavaScript. The first one is the video tag. This is going to be my camera canvas, my player. Okay, and then I added some JavaScript, starting with a few handlers on error and on success. On error is just a simple console.error, and on success is really going to be used below, meaning that any stream that comes from my camera should actually be projected to the video canvas. And finally, where the magic happens is I'm accessing the camera, getting the video, and I don't want to handle success. I want to say on success, because there's on error, there's on success, makes sense. Let's save this, and I'm going to reload. Let's see if I'm going to be able to project my camera. All right, the browser asked me to allow it. I'm gonna allow. Yes, that's me. Okay. I don't know which camera to look into. Okay, so this works obviously, but now I don't want that. I want to disallow this website. I don't want it to use my camera or my user's cameras, even worse. Okay, going back to serve.json, I'm going to say camera, no, not allowed. All right, but to make that happen, I'm going to need to restart the server. That's me being quick. Okay, restart. Woo, nothing is happening. Okay, let's take a look at the console. Feature policy violation. Camera is not allowed in this document. Booyah! We caught you! Ha! Okay, so with this simple feature policy, I was able to deny myself access. All right, what if I was a third-party developer? Then I don't want to show this, so I'm gonna say, okay, I'm gonna obey. I'm gonna say, okay, this feature is not allowed. I'm sorry, it's okay. And now I'm going to add some JavaScript. That's going to help me detect that. Okay, what do we have here? This is the same code from on error to get user media, this is the same code, but I added a little bit before that. I'm asking the feature policy API to check if camera is an allowed feature, and only if it is, it's clear, is camera allowed? Only if it is, I'm going to execute this code, all right? And when I reload this document now, nothing shows because nothing happens. And that's because, as a good developer, I checked with feature policy before I actually used camera. Feature policy is not widely supported right now, but the dominant browsers do support some of the APIs. So you may want to watch that. You can use caniuse.com to check on the availability. Okay, this has been a good ride so far, but HTTP headers are not the only way we can use feature policies. We can actually set feature policies for our document and then change policies for iframes, okay? And that's actually even easier. You know those iframes? All right, all you need to do is allow equals to, where are we gonna allow our iframes? I'm gonna say I'm gonna allow microphone. This sounds very safe. And I'm gonna allow camera, okay? And then source equals to badsite.com, okay. Now, with this iframe, there is one catch. That is, I'm allowing microphone, and I can do that because my document already allows microphone. Why don't we check that? Document policy, okay? Microphone. Microphone is allowed, and that's why I can propagate that down to the iframe. By default, the iframe is going to have the microphone allowed, so this doesn't really make a lot of sense. However, camera is not allowed to my document, and it will not be allowed to the iframe as well. So basically, if the iframe is going to ask, then the iframe is going to be false as well, because access policy propagates down. And you know who wins? The more restrictive rule is going to win. So if I allow one thing to the iframe, but it's not allowed for the parent document, it's not going to be allowed because the more restrictive rule wins. If I was successful today, then I achieved my goal to show how incredibly useful feature policies are, how they protect you and how they protect your customer, and how easy feature policies are to set up on your product even today. If you want to know more about feature policies, then go ahead and take a look at the blog post that I wrote about feature policies and linked in the description below. If you feel this video was helpful, please share it with the people in your network. Also take a look at our video where we discuss going dark mode with the UI and images as well. If you're passionate about maintaining top-notch performance, check out Gimbal, our CI-enabled tool that's going to keep your web app's performance within budgets.